Hello and welcome. I'm Jacqueline and I just want to tell you all thank you so much for joining us this evening. Tonight we're going to do a really quick recording. Mr. Grace, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I thought I'd bring you on so you could tell about your experience and what you set out to do and just sort of talk about it. I just want to set it up because it's going to be public. We're going to get it edited. Guys, this is Mr. Stephen Grace. His wife is Rochelle Grace. They are a power couple, excellent team, and they've got a host of family members that also support them. I'm very, very, very impressed by this family, and I just want to give him the floor so he can speak on a few things. You ready, Mr. Grace?
My name is Stephen Grace. I currently live in Huntsville, Alabama. I've been renting my home for the past few years, a number of years. And I started out with the drive to own my own home, to pass on a little legacy for my children, my family, stability, and just a little financial freedom. So I pretty much had in mind what I wanted to do, but I also had a few parameters. It's like I knew I'm ex-military, retired military, so VA was an option right off the bat. And I was determined, I won't say determined, I wanted my end goal to be, I did not spend $1 out of my pocket to own my home, to get into my home, I'll put it like that. So with that in mind, I gave Miss Battle my specifics on what we were looking for, what we weren't going to accept. And then she pretty much took the ball and ran with it. And through diligence, blessings, and just the steadfastness to the system that is in place, we were able to purchase our brand new home in exactly less than 60 days with zero money down, out of pocket, fully financed at a beautiful interest rate. And we move in about 10 days. So the process is out there for you. Miss Battle will easily, she knows what she's doing. She will easily guide you in the right direction. If you have the faith and you have the tenacity, trust me, the system worked. The financing went through seamlessly. The mortgage company, the writers, insurance was just, everybody was just communication. And everything turned out exactly the way I wanted because I stuck to my guns. So the system is out there. If you want to go and get a home with zero money out of pocket, it is doable. You just have to trust the process. And part of that process is Miss Battle's Homeownership plan. So in that, I say thank you, Godspeed, and I hope you achieve what you're after.
Oh, wow. That was well said. Very well said. And I want to tell you, thank you very much. I am, again, I mentioned it earlier. I'm very impressed with this family. They knew what they wanted. And we started out, I wasn't sure of what they wanted, but when they made it clear.
We trimmed the fat.
Yeah. Well, you made it clear to me, and he knew concisely what he wanted.
And the part I will say, like, during this process, even though you have your goals set on what you want, you also have to have the boundaries that are open. Because, Jacqueline might come to you out of a point you never thought, because we weren't even looking. We did HUD homes, we were looking new, and she said, well, you ever thought about new construction? Bam, I'm moving into my new construction in 10 days. All right. So you have to have an open mind on the process too, but it's all doable. Every last piece of it is doable.
I see you guys got boxes there. You getting ready to
get
them up and move them out.
We doing all the major rooms. We hitting up the major rooms first, and we're gonna leave the bedrooms for last. So we starting up. Actually, we renting a U-Haul this Saturday.
It's exciting. Listen, and the thing that I ensure all of my customers is that I stick with you. I don't, a lot of people right after closing, you may not see them anymore. That's not my process. I stick with you long after we, those are relationships that we build. We never know when we're going to need each other. And so it's important to maintain the relationship.
The communication. That's what the most thing I was impressed. I think that was the key to the whole transaction.
Yes.
Me, you, the mortgage company,
right?
Yeah, home builders, everybody. I think that was the key, was the communication, and everybody understood that this is what he wants. See, at the end, I'm the one signing the dotted line.
That's right.
And so everybody got on board. They're like, okay, this is what he wants. I want my inspection. I want what the VA say I can have. I want what the homeowners say they're going to give me. I want what the builders say they built. The mortgage company, this is what you're going to do. Hey, everybody was on the same page. And it was all because of communication. So.
Let's touch on one thing. People realize that when you get a VA loan that there's not a down payment, but what they don't realize sometimes is that it could be several thousands of dollars of closing costs. Depending on the sales price, you're looking at, $15,000, $20,000 in closing costs. A lot of people don't realize, veterans specifically, when they're disabled, that they can be exempt from that funding fee. Can you talk a little bit on that?
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing about that is, I was surprised. I thought we were gonna have to come out a couple of dollars at least on closing costs, and but through the VA, and the lender, the builder, it's like sometimes you have to talk to people to find out what they're willing to do for you to buy their home.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Because
there you go.
That's something that also shocked me. What people were willing to do to sell their home. They paid my closing costs. They paid Jacqueline's fees. They paid my HOA fees. That's so, because their job is like a car salesman. They are out there to sell you a home.
Mm-hmm.
So ask the mortgage company, what can you pay my closing costs, or what can you put towards my closing costs? Ask the builder, what can you help me out with towards my closing costs? And trust me, it's possible to reach that zero bubble. It's easily possible to reach that zero bubble.
It is. And if one property doesn't work, if everything can't work in that particular
Pit
property,
Pit them against each other.
That's right. And if all else fails, there are other properties.
Pit them against each other.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just again want to tell you thank you. Now I think we lost some sound earlier when you were talking about. Let's see if I can get the exact segment, and then we'll be. I know you guys have things to do, but I think it was on the part where you were talking about it only takes. Hey, Rochelle, can you get into the camera so that people can see? I want them to see this couple here.
I'm not looking good.
You always look good. What are you saying? What is that about? Hey, I know what it was. You were talking about the process and how it only took less than 60 days.
Yeah, we actually started looking right after the holidays, like the first part of January, like January 2nd or 3rd. It was like, yeah. And here we are, we're closing on March 6th. Pretty much speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. Before we close out, I just want to tell y'all thank you again for sticking in there with the homeownership plan. I tell people all the time, you don't realize that they come to the meetings and they're like, I don't see anything different. But what they don't know is we're walking through the homeownership plan. We make it comfortable by meeting each week or as often as we can. And each time we meet, we have certain points that have an agenda. And so each time we meet, we're accomplishing the things that are listed on the agenda until finally there's nothing else to do. We're finished. And that's the way that we walk out the homeownership. Is there anything else you want to say before we close this out?
Hey, thank you, Jacqueline. We appreciate everything. And we'll see you at the housewarming.
Absolutely. You guys have a good evening. And thank you for trusting me.
Yes.
That means a lot to me. Thank you. Hey, pass the word on.
We surely will.
All right. Have a good evening.
Okay.